Hello everyone, this is Mr. Informal bringing you the new Mr. Informal Podcast. I go by the name of Mr. Informal. Yes, we are in October. Halloween is coming up, but it seems like Halloween is going to be different this year due to the everlasting, continuous pandemic of the coronavirus. So this is the 127 edition of the Mr. Informal Podcast. Again, my name is Mr. Informal. Don't forget to add me on Instagram, MisterInformal, and check out my website. Got some good blogs in there, tech and fashion if you're into that. MrInformal.com, MrInformal.com. So, what are the 4 topics for today? Well, in the US and Europe has canceled 16 billions worth of apparel. Number 2, there is a lot of increase of employees or work in warehouses these days. Yes. Number 3, since not a lot of people are going out, there hasn't been a lot of people dressing up, which is too bad. Now, I did talk about that in a different previous podcast, but that was regarding suits. Last but not least, since Thanksgiving is coming up, Black Friday is coming up, instead of people lines, there's going to be a lot of car lines in curbside pickup. Yes, it will be a mayhem in the parking lot. Just when you think parking lot is already a mayhem on Black Friday, it's even going to be worse this Black Friday. So those are the 4 topics for today, and let's go ahead and start the podcast. So in supplyandchaindive.com, article titled US and European buyers canceled 16 billions in apparel purchases orders in spring. Buyers in the US and European Union canceled at least 16.2 billions in orders placed with garment manufacturers between April and June, according to a report from Workers' Rights Consortium and Penn State Center of Global Workers' Rights released last week. In the early weeks of pandemic, apparel buyers in the US and Europe canceled 40 billion in orders. The analysis showed that apparel exports in the US have been declining in quantity and price per unit, leading the authors to conclude that buyers have secured proactive discounts on wares already ordered. This loss in value translate into suppliers dramatically reducing operations, suspending operations, or even going out of business, according to the report. Wow. Sorry, I'm not sure why I could not read that quick. So, that is absolutely huge. Another paragraph says the report concluded that 49% drop in apparel exports to the US between April and June, consistently largely of finished or progress goods, meaning suppliers had already fronted the cost of materials and labors. The welfare of garment workers in the health of the apparel producing suppliers based in countries such as Indonesia, India, Vietnam, Bangladesh suffer from these shortfalls. Wow. So this is just the European Union and the US alone, not including Canada or even other developed countries. 16 billions. 16 billions. That is a lot. And that's probably from March to now. 16 billion. Well, I mean, I guess the only good news about this is that there's less waste that is being produced. But the bad news is that workers do not have jobs. So, yeah, it's tough. I think everyone is going through the same thing from bottom to the top, from top to bottom. The reduction of costs, reduction of operations, obviously reduction of employees, and then reduction of manufacturing, reduction of, again, employees. So, and it's not gonna get better, because even if we come out of this, let's say November or even December, or even next year, it's going to be slow. The only time everything will feel like it's back to normal, maybe August, September of 2021, or even 2022, which is reminding me how time is going so fast. It's almost as if it was yesterday. It suddenly became locked down. But in any case, $16 billion of worth. I mean, every manufacturer, from fabric, from accessory manufacturing, from garment manufacturing, even the dye house, they all have reduction. And since it's a 16 billion reduction in cost, obviously that $16 billion is not being spent. And so the economy is also going bad too, because people don't have money to spend. But to know that it costs 16 billions is a lot. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was in trillions. Like, I would, because this is just speaking about US and the EU. What if we include other developed countries? We may be talking about trillions here, because everybody wears clothes. I mean, I don't know anybody who wears clothes. I mean, if you're at home. But at the same time, it's a huge amount. It just shows that when it comes to, you put it in numbers, it shows that how much is being affected by it. On to the second topic from supplychaindive.com, titled "Warehouse Employment is an All-Time High." Warehouse employment has surpassed its pre-pandemic level, reached the highest ever recorded with 1.25 million workers in the warehouse and storage sector in September. According to preliminary numbers from Bureau of Labor Statistics, this bounce back comes as employment remains below what it is in early Q1. Overall unemployment dropped to 7.9% in September, which is lower than the 14.7% seen in April, but higher than the 3.5% seen in February. Look at that. E-commerce sales jumped 32% from Q1 to Q2. That's nearly $212 billion. So since e-commerce is rising, obviously the logistics has to be there. Someone has to pack it. Someone has to ship it. So what do you have? Warehouse workers. And I mean, I'm not surprised, because nobody's going to the mall. Everyone's shopping online, and so you got to have the manpower to pack and ship. But its exponential growth is absolutely astonishing, because I would have thought at least people will go to the store and check out the clothes, but I guess people know their sizes already, and so they order online. And obviously these warehouses are getting bigger and bigger. And let's not forget, Amazon is at all-time high, and so Amazon, Walmart, and even Nordstrom or other e-commerce, Target especially, they need bigger warehouses. I mean, they're probably building up another warehouse right now, because they gotta have the manpower to ship these goods. They gotta have the space to store these items. And UPS, FedEx, the post office is already also an all-time high, because people are ordering online. Things are being shipped. They are hiring a lot of people, especially in this Christmas day. I mean, I can't imagine how much, even with the surge of shipping costs, I don't think that's going to stop people from ordering online. See, the thing is, Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Christmas shopping, you can even include New Year shopping. It's always ridiculous the amount of people shopping around. I mean, for gifts, for themselves, for their kids, for their relatives. Could be anybody. But it is an all-time high right now to be a warehouse worker. Does that mean our warehouse workers being paid hazard pay? Probably not. I mean, if you're a warehouse worker, is not a lot of money to be made in terms of living off of it. But I guess a job is a job. A job is a job, so it's something to have. But I mean, hopefully these workers are fully safe. These companies are providing these workers safety policies, and also insurance too, and certainly health benefits. But again, it's probably gonna go up from this day, even from next year. It's still going to go up because this is not over yet. On to topic number 3: no dress up. Yes, I know winter's coming. It's still fall, but people are still staying home. They're not going out as they used to go, even in the summer. So not a lot of people are dressing up. All those dress shoes, all those boots, all those high heels, stilettos, platforms, flats. Got your Chelsea boots. You got your Johans, Floor Shine. I mean, all kinds. Even Red Wings. Well, I shouldn't say Red Wings because they're not dressy. But you know exactly what I mean. People are staying home more often, so they gotta have some loungewear, casual clothes. Not a lot of dating going on. And even if they are, most likely they're already couples or married. So, guys are not dressing up, obviously. No slacks, no dress pants. No suits. I'm not talking about work here. I'm just talking about when you go out at night or when you go out on the town or somewhere you dress up for. So not a lot of people are doing that. Because even if they could, where would they go? Restaurants, you can only eat outside. Yeah, it's nice, but it's still outside. So it's not inside where you can actually dress up, look nice. I haven't dressed up in a long time to the point where I could say, man, I look nice. And probably you're going through the same thing where you're looking at your clothes and to asking yourself, I haven't worn these clothes in a while, in 6 months or even a year. And I'm not saying you should clean it up. I'm saying that it's letting you know that I have not gone out in a long time. To where I feel like I've gone out. Going to groceries, go to store, probably pick up some food late at night, or even watching a movie outside, one of those outdoor movies. But it's not the same. So you can go to your local shopping mall or even online shop, and you don't feel like you want to shop. You don't feel like you want to buy those type of clothes. You just want to buy t-shirts and sweatpants and joggers, whatever you want to call them. And you can't even impress anybody the way you clothes, Usually us guys, obviously when we feel confident, we want to impress girls. That's what we do. Same thing with girls, they want to look great. They want to look great in front of people. They want to get some compliments, which is just natural and there's nothing wrong with that. But they haven't done that because of this pandemic. The bars are not open. The clubs are not open. The restaurants are not out at night are not open. Even if they are, it's outdoors, but you don't want to, but it doesn't feel special. There's something in the air. When you go out, there's something in the air that makes you tell yourself, man, I gotta dress up or gotta feel like I'm going somewhere special. But no, it hasn't been that case in a long time, in a while. And so these days, not a lot of people are dressing up. So, on to the last topic, car lines. What do I mean by that? Well, Black Friday is coming up. People are gonna order more stuff online, and they're gonna have some curbside pickup. In the normal Black Friday, people park. They wait in line to the store to get in, or if there's no line, they can just go into the store. These days, you have to wait in line. They have limited amount of people, but now you can pick it up, curbside pickup. Now, don't be surprised if curbside pickup suddenly becomes hell. Which means the lines are going to be backed up all the way probably from the freeway, from all the way back in the parking lot, or even in the road, the avenue, in the boulevard, in the streets. So don't be surprised, and there's probably going to be more people in the parking lot. They might just turn every parking lot to be a curbside pickup, but they probably won't. They probably only do half, because I think people still want to go to the store. But man, this might actually be worse than Black Friday, because if you are just trying to park, you are not going to get into the parking lot, because the amount of car lines are going to be in there. There's going to be lines after lines of cars. It's an endless line of cars. Maybe it could be pickup, could be just parking, and so on. So just imagine you just want to do curbside pickup. You can't, because you have to wait in the car. You have to wait just like the rest of the people also having curbside pickup. So it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's interesting. It is going to be hell, that's for sure. Because you're not the only one that's doing it. Everybody's probably doing it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think there are people who are going to be at a store, but I think there's also going to be people that will be waiting in line for the store. Heck, the day before Thanksgiving or day before Black Friday, they probably people already in parking. So I might even just put my car in that parking spot and then come back the next day. You never know. So I can already imagine what's going to happen in the news, that there's lines backed up all the way to the parking lot. I mean, the malls are probably going to be having a lot of cars just picking up stuff. So it's going to be hell. And certainly this pandemic is not helping, and the weather is not going to be helping either. And it's flu season too. That's not going to help. And so that basically concludes this podcast 127. I hope you learned something today. I hope I gave you some insights. I hope you listened to me from start to end, and I would be really glad. I hope you stay safe. I hope you be well. I hope you be healthy. And again, be cautious. And hopefully you have a great Halloween. Halloween is certainly coming up for the kids, for you and your friends or your coworkers or even relatives. And so I will see you in the next podcast. And please do not forget to add me on Instagram and my website, MrInformal.com. Instagram is MisterInformal. And so I will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.